Katie and Nat, rocking the scene with you in no flicks from the 90s. So keen, the VHS Club, they're the talk of the town. Breaking it down, spreading nostalgia all around. Moving and grooving to the synth-pop sound. Their insights so fresh, painting pictures profound. From Pulp Fiction to Clueless, they know it all. The genuine love for movies stands tall. Unfolding memories on that VHS screen, talking about classics like you've never seen. Katie with her charm, Nat with that wit. Together they make the VHS Club legit.
Happy Halloween! How's it going?
Halloween.
Happy
Good.
Halloween.
It's very Halloween weather here. It's
It
been
is.
dark and gloomy and pouring rain all day. Hopefully tomorrow for the little kiddos, it is either not raining or snowing.
Yeah, not
It's
raining.
it's not that cold, but I mean when we were kids, it snowed all the time on Halloween.
Not raining and not snowing would be good. But you know what? We survived the rain and the snow, so
Yeah.
it'll be good
Yeah.
regardless. It'll be good regardless. Well, I really I do enjoy that we get to do this show the day before Halloween, and I love that we're doing Rocky Horror because it sort of feels like we've already done Rocky Horror because we did an entire
thought we did.
episode all about cult classics. So if you haven't seen that one yet, you can rewind back a few episodes and check out our cult classics one. This is like the most
The cult classic.
of cult classic movies. So it feels
This
it
is
feels
why we
appropriate.
have
Yeah.
we have live shows where there's live performers while the movie is playing and the audience is involved. That whole thing that we do now with a lot of movies is because of this movie.
Yeah.
Which
Absolutely.
is very exciting.
It's very exciting, and we hope that we do it justice. I see everyone in the chat is like so excited for tonight. Everyone's got their fishnet stockings on. Val's a little confused because she has not yet seen this one, but everyone else is very excited and are ready to go.
Val, the music is so good.
Yeah, it is. I have all the music stuck in my head in like one jumble. Yeah, it's all there. So if you haven't seen it, if you're like Val, we're sorry for all the spoilers. This one, actually, I will say it. I don't remember the first time I saw this movie, but I do remember it was either you or your dad or a combination of you or your dad talking about it. And I remember being like, the way that you were describing and talking about Rocky Horror Picture Show did not mesh with like what the title Rocky Horror Picture Show meant to me as a child.
Yeah.
I was like, it's a Halloween horror movie, but the way that you like, there was like laughter and fun and clear silliness around it. I have this visceral memory of like not being able to reconcile the two. So I remember that, but I don't remember the first time I saw it. It was probably with you guys for sure. Oh, you remember the first time I saw it or the first time you saw it?
I remember the first time I saw it.
Good.
I remember my dad used to watch this like every sort of Halloween season. Like a couple of his friends would come over and they'd watch this movie probably on Halloween, like while they're giving out candy.
Yeah.
It's like if my mom was taking us out, my dad would have a couple friends over and
Yep.
they'd put the movie on, give out candy, whatever. And I remember he had it on VHS tape
Hmm.
and taped off of TV, nonetheless. Like, nonetheless, with the cutting out the commercials
Yeah,
and
that's
all
how you do it.
that VHS stuff that we used to do.
Yeah.
And I remember he used to watch it all the time, and I'd be like, "Oh, Dad, what's that?" He's like, "You're too young to watch this."
Yeah.
So my friend, our neighbor, our friend, Kristen Mackenzie Surratt,
Mhm.
who lived down the street from us, we were home again, latchkey kids, no parents, between like, whatever, 3 and 6 o'clock, and
The
it's like,
witching hour for watching all the
yeah,
movies we
for
weren't allowed to
kids.
watch. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, what should we watch? And I was like, well, there's this tape that my dad always says I'm not allowed to watch. And I know he watches it all the time and it has really good music. And I listen to the record all the time. So I don't know why we're not allowed to watch it. She's like, let's watch it. I'm like, all right, let's. And we were maybe 11 or 12. 11. I'm saying 12 because that might sound better, but it was definitely 11.
It was 100% 11. Yeah.
and I remember watching it and not understanding a lot of it.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's a commentary on the social constructs and gender. Well, gender is a social construct that started in the 1950s. So it's very modern. Anyway, so and it's also about because the movie was filmed in the 70s, so it did also have like a huge commentary on the nuclear family, the American dream, the whole anti-communism, fall of the Nazis, how rumors during World War II, post-World War II, how Americans went and like snatched up all of the German Nazi soldiers to come to America and continue their experiments, hence Dr. Scott, Von Scott. So like it was so much for an 11-year-old brain to try and figure out. But the music was great. Everything was sparkly. The dancing was fun. I knew how to do the time warp at 11. And,
everyone knew how to do the time warp.
Yeah.
You don't even need to know how to dance
Tim Curry.
to do the time warp. Yeah,
it's just obsessed with Tim Curry.
I definitely don't remember the first time I saw it, but I do remember like my feelings about watching it. So my first time seeing it is kind of all jumbled together in my head, so I don't remember where I was or who I was with. I was older than you. I was probably like 15 or 16, somewhere in there. It was probably with you, knowing it was either
absolutely
with you or like, because I know it's one of Dane's favorites, so I definitely have seen it a number of times with Dane as well. So I've had like different experiences.
It was definitely in my basement. Remember that red carpet?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That like really flat red carpet, like just on the cement.
Sitting as uncomfortably as humanly possible with like pillows.
Yeah. With the TV that like looked like a piece of furniture, not just a television.
Was a piece
like
of
when
furniture,
it was literally like a piece of furniture in the wood and the No, I remember. So it was definitely at my house.
I feel like same as you, even being older, like certainly all of the like, commentary and kind of everything behind it went over my head. But I just remember how incredibly cool Tim Curry was to me in that moment and remains like still to this day. Like when I think of Tim Curry, like I immediately think of Rocky Horror and then obviously Clue, which are like two of kind of my, I certainly top movies in my
just
top 10 list
he's been in.
But and he's been in an insane amount of stuff and he's brilliant in everything.
He's also has like a punk band, by the way, like in the 80s, which still like I'm obsessed. Anyways, obsessed.
Yeah. I just remember thinking like how unbelievably fabulous he is in this, not only in like how like, fishnets and corsets and everything and heels and the whole shebang, but he has a presence and a voice, and like his character in this is just incredible. And I think to me that's like continues to be what I love about Rocky Horror, is that at a time and still to this day where like there are a lot of marginalized communities that don't get to be powerful often, I think this movie does like a really fabulous job of making the like this very, very, very niche community, certainly at that time, like very cool and powerful. And I just really love that about this. It's really a movie about like, I don't know, similar to, I just kept thinking about like cult classics and similar to like what I love about Empire Records and what I love about like, it's this idea of like, these are the tattooed gum chewing freaks, like, and they're so much cooler than you are. Like everything about them is just sparkly and awesome and really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely, I mean, growing up in my household, I was very privileged in that things like social constructs, I was always taught are that, like they are social constructs, and things like that don't matter.
Yeah.
And this movie kind of reinforced it. And I remember even as a kid seeing this, I was like, yeah, like people are just people and attraction is just attraction, and that's just normal, right? So it's as I started to grow up and like really get into puberty and really become a teenager in high school and like seeing people not get that, I was very confused. Which is kind of the opposite usually of how it goes with people. Like usually people are trying to figure out, I guess with hormones and sexuality and stuff and like coming of age. And I started out with, well, none of that shit matters. And now as an adult, I was like, good for Brad and Janet. They probably had a great sex life after all of this. Like
Brad and Janet.
Okay, so the premise of this movie is two former students of Dr. Scott want to go and see him in his he lives, I guess, off in this sort of off the beaten trail in the woods kind of place. They want to go and tell him that they're engaged. Their car breaks down. They end up in this castle that is run by aliens from Transylvania, and they experience a lot of different. They're exposed to a lot of different things. Like they're exposed to experiences. Yes. So they have different sexual experiences, different gender experiences, different, and then the aliens, most of them go back home, and that's it. And singing and dancing.
And singing and dancing. Yeah. So I think you did pretty well. Like I had ChatGPT summarize this movie, and it says Brad and Janet's car breaks down on a rainy night. They seek help at a castle only to meet Dr. Frank-N-Furter, a sweet transvestite scientist unveiling his muscle-bound creation, Rocky Horror. Things get weird real fast. I was like, accurate. Things do get weird. Things do get weird real fast. I am loving everyone's comments here. I feel like even if you have not seen this movie, so I was seeing that Andrew was saying that he hadn't seen this, you tend to have at least some kind of involvement in it. So Andrew was saying that his sister was in a theater presentation on stage in front of the movie in college, right? Yeah. So like this, for those of you who don't fully understand, it sounds like most of our tater tots do, but what I don't think what I don't think a lot of people fully appreciate and realize is that like when we say that this movie is the cult classic movie, like it started as a stage production in the early 70s. It then got turned into a movie. The budget to make this movie was next to nothing. The actors got paid absolutely terribly. The actual process of producing this movie was a fever dream nightmare. Not all that different. They from
filmed
Texas Chainsaw
in an
Massacre.
abandoned.
Yeah.
Like they filmed in an abandoned house
that
didn't have electricity.
Cold, abandoned house.
Yeah. So it like literally it was abandoned, and they actually did not have like electricity. There was no heat. They were frozen. At the end, there's a pool scene where they have an orgy, and they almost. I think Susan Sarandon almost died.
Yeah, she had pneumonia for like the entire production, and they just didn't care. Like she had the choice basically to drop out or continue on, and she just stayed on. But they did not care. They did not cover any of her medical expenses. Like they did not care. Like she was bundled in like blankets afterwards. But this movie then tanked, like completely bombed in the theater, which is not all that surprising given that it is incredibly strange and like probably wasn't able to immediately find an audience. Certainly it was banned in a number of cities and countries and theaters. But then
it was about the downfall of the American dream. I'm pretty sure America was pissed about it because it wasn't even made by Americans. Like it was a commentary on America by non-American. Like, yeah, of course it didn't do well in America. Jesus.
Well, and it's also very like it's a very super sexualized movie as well. So like rating it would have been really, really difficult. So anyway,
it would be rated RR.
Exactly. It was banned like almost everywhere. It did absolutely terribly. But it remains one of still to this day is the longest running theater open. So like it just continues every single year to be played in theaters. It has made a preposterous amount of money, even though the actors have seen none of it. and it's like one of the top selling movie soundtracks of all time. Like it just continues to have this audience. And it's really cool. Like I was reading this quote, in a few different articles had like similar kind of messaging, but that basically said that unlike like a lot of the other kind of when we were talking about cult classics, like a lot of the other cult classics, one of the key ingredients in a cult classic was that it has this like community that rises up around it. And there's this concept of like memorizing movies and quoting movies, like the quotability of a movie really matters. Mm-hmm. This one is a little bit different than that in that it started playing at midnight in very small theaters, mostly because like that was just the only time that they could play. They could play it to try to make some money back.
Like to guarantee that kids would not see it. Yeah. Or it would not be there would be no exposure to people who wouldn't want to see it, would see it.
Yeah, right? Exactly. And so it started playing it and so this community built up around it, but not only people that were attending this movie and quoting this movie, but the audience itself and the community that built around it, who embraced it because it was weird, because it made, again, like a community of marginalized people feel special and feel included and feel powerful. It became this thing where the audience really almost rewrote the movie into like the original stage experience. Like I was reading Roger Ebert's review on this, which is not even really worth reading, but feel free if you want to look it up and read it. But
it's like extremely biased movie critic, but
he actually like he gave it a higher rating than I thought he would. Like I think it was like a 2.5 or 3 stars, which is actually higher than I thought he would give it. But what he basically was saying in it was that this movie deserved to be a stage production and not a movie. Like, why did you make this into a movie? Was his shtick. And
because it's both.
What I kind of love about it is that like it started as a stage production, it was made into a movie, and then the community made it back into a stage production. And I think like that's what makes it special. Like that right there, like the community creating, Paul listed them, right? Like the community now like meets on midnight, like on Halloween, and there's other midnight showings other than Halloween, and they bring their rice and their newspaper and their water pistols. This horrified movie theaters. Like when this first started happening, movie theaters were like, absolutely not. It was ruining, party hat, noisemaker, confetti, rubber gloves, bell, but like all of these things, right? Toast, like, and these were all things that were made up by original community members and then just embraced by the community and became this like performative theater production while the movie was playing. And I'm just so like, I'm so proud of the small theaters. The mass majority of them started in like larger cities. So it was like New York City, Manhattan, for not just shutting it down. Like they had the opportunity to just shut it down.
Well, the Montreal Rialto still does it. They have from
tons of theaters still do it. Yeah.
Which Katie and I went to go see it at the Rialto. I don't think we got in that time that I went with you.
We posted those photos. We didn't get in. The only time I have seen it live was in Salem.
Which I was epically
disappointed.
Not
by.
disappointed. I don't want to say disappointed. I was epically disappointed because people were a lot like the audience, like they went to go see it because it's a thing to do, not because they knew what they were doing. So when Katie and I show up with toast and are literally throwing pieces of toast at the wedding, when they're like toast, toast, and or at the party, and I'm just, and we were the only people, like that guy that I hit with the toast was so pissed, so pissed. And like, I was like, what do you mean you don't know? Why didn't anybody bring toast? Like, Jesus. I'm like, we don't do a lot right in Montreal, but at least we do this right in Montreal. So like,
it's
you
like,
don't show up with toast. That's like an epic fail.
It needs to be performative. So Paul has so the audience participation for the Rocky Horror Picture Show began in 1976. So that's only a year after the movie came out.
A year.
At the Waverly Theater in New York City, largely out of boredom from repeat viewers and a desire to interact with the film. I just love that, like, really similar to today and to like even what we're doing here on YouTube. Like it, like at some point in this world, like you create something, but then it belongs to the fans. Like, I just love that this is like the original thing where they created it, but it belongs to the fans and it continues to belong to the fans. And it like is now just like out there, its own thing. And I can't think of another movie that is this level of experience. There are some that are close, but none that are Rocky Horror. So I just think it's again, like even if you like hate this movie, which like fair respect, like you have to just sort of admire it for its grit.
What is there
like,
to hate?
It's just a level of like dedication and grit and awesomeness that I just like. I guess if you don't like the story, like I appreciate that, like maybe this is like not someone's bag of tea, but I do think from a movie making standpoint, it's really cool.
I like it because the whole point of it is to tell people that you can just be whoever you actually are.
Mm-hmm.
And like, don't let what is normal today dictate how you act and how you move in your life.
Yep.
You know, it's like you should just be you and that's fine. And that's the whole message of the movie. And I just think it's crazy that somebody couldn't like that. I mean, I get it because there are bigots and homophobes and all of the icks out there, but I'm just like, it's crazy. And it's funny because I've read, like, people have written like dissertations at like a grad level in university on stuff like this, on gender and whatever. And I remember reading this research paper on how Magenta and Columbia were like a lesbian couple and how they didn't get enough like screen time for this. And I was like, no, everybody was just into everybody. I'm like, you missed the point. I'm like, it didn't matter. I'm like, they weren't necessarily a couple. I'm like, they were just, if they were turned on and there was somebody there, that was it. Like that was more, to me, that was more the point.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it was great. I think I loved Brad questioning, or I should say Brad not questioning his sexuality in the movie. Because so there's this scene where Frank-N-Furter shows Brad and Janet, so they're fiancés, but they have separate rooms because of the time period. They weren't sharing rooms yet because they weren't married. Yeah. And Janet wakes up with Brad in her bed, and she's like, "Oh, Brad," and then it's Frank-N-Furter, and then she's like, "Oh," and then the same thing happens to Brad, and he's just like, "Yeah, okay." Like, he questioned it less than Janet, and then at the end, he's like apologizing to his mommy because he's like so confused about everything that's happening, but he's just like, you know what, I'm here, I'm in my fishnets, I'm wearing a corset, got glitter on. He's
confused but all in. I love it. Yeah,
I love it. I think Brad was kind of the character in this that was just like, all right, I'll go with the flow. Like, everybody else kind of had their own little hang-ups, but Brad kind of just went with it.
He really did. Poor Susan Sarandon. So Matt was sharing this fact that Susan had 102-degree fever during the dinner scene. So Susan Sarandon, like, which I did not. I knew that I knew that it had been really hard filming for her. I knew that she had been sick a lot of it from like reading articles from years back. But what I don't think I fully realized was that like Susan Sarandon was only brought into this movie initially because she was Barry Bostwick's girlfriend in real life, who's the actor that played Brad. And Brad was only brought in as a character because they wanted the couple to be like an American couple. Like they wanted American actors to be.
I mean, he's also a singer.
Yeah. And so
she was not. I remember her saying in an interview, like, I almost insisted to turn it down because I'm not a singer. And they kept telling me, no, please do it. You're fine.
Yeah.
And she's such a good singer in this.
She's great.
Her little breathy, like, high note is like, it's just so iconic. And I'm like, I could not imagine anybody else doing that role. And also, she's so stunningly beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, she is absolutely gorgeous. Paula's saying that she dislikes talking about this movie because none of the cast members none of the cast members get anything at all from this movie, and they were paid abysmally. And they were like thankfully most of them, it seems like, can laugh about it now because of the like endurance of this movie, and I'm sure the fame, I guess, that they get on the other side of it like is, but yeah, she definitely almost died, and she tried I guess for years to get like at least like medical bills covered for, because like she was so sick, but they never covered anything for her. So this was it was unfortunately not a good, like it's pretty close up there too. When we were last week, we were talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre, pretty close. Whereas on that movie, they were like dying of heat, and it was like the smell was so terrible because of how hot they were. In this movie, they were literally freezing. Like, and there were a number of moments, like there was a moment where, the actor that plays Barry, the actor that plays Brad,
see them shivering.
You can see them shivering.
You can see people shiver. Columbia at one point, I think she's turning the spotlight on at the end when they have their final performance, and you could see her shaking so hard that she's having a hard time turning the light on. Like, it's great. That was not faked. That was real, like, hypothermia.
Yeah, and the guy that plays Brad, Barry, he like, I guess at one point hit his hand to get, like, he was doing one of the I think it was probably the Time Warp. He was doing a dance, and he like hit his hand against a statue or something and sliced his hand open and was like literally bleeding, like blood pouring out of it. And they just ran over, bandaged his hand, and they kept going. And it was like, I guess, so bad that there was like blood starting to like come through the bandage, and it was just like, keep going, like keep dancing. So they were like,
there were some homicidal moments.
Yeah.
There were some homicidal moments in the movie because Frank is a little jealous. Though he's all about this sort of free love. It's like more as long as he's the one initiating it, he's a very jealous creature. So there is some literal axe murdering happening. So I guess the blood on set wasn't too out of pocket.
Yeah, they could use real blood, fake blood.
I feel in older interviews, the guy who played Brad would kind of often reference like, oh, Susan was my girlfriend and that's why she got the part.
Yeah.
Sort of thing at the time. But in a new documentary that just came out, he was much more appropriate and gentlemanly and was like, oh, I'm not going to talk about that. Like, my relationship with Susan, that's not relevant to what we did in the film. Like, and I thought like that switch from, I mean, obviously times are different. So, but I liked that there was that sort of switch from that. And it's funny, there was always this rumor that the actresses that played Magenta and Columbia were prostitutes. And in the recent documentary, they're like, yeah. Like, I mean, we were actors, we worked in musical theater, like in London, and we were dirt poor. We had to subsidize rent, and it was only once they made this movie that they were able to stop their other work, which was, anyways, it was just interesting to see that those rumors were in fact true, which is kind of amazing.
If you haven't seen it yet, I posted in the show notes and then also in the YouTube description the link to that. So it's only about 10 minutes or so, but you can see Tim Curry, the actresses that play Magenta and name just slipped my mind. Columbia and Brad are all there chatting about the movie. It's actually really nice. It's a little bit heartbreaking to see Tim Curry on the other side of his stroke, because he's certainly like looks and
I think
sounds
he's
really
had several
different.
strokes. Yeah.
But it's also really nice. Like his sense of humor is like still there. He's still like still very much Tim
He's
Curry.
still cognitively there. Yeah.
It was a really good one to watch. So if you're into this movie, like it seems like many of you are, definitely check that out if you haven't seen that yet. It just came out not that long ago. The 50-year anniversary for this movie was the end of September, so it's like we're somehow this movie's been out for 50 years, which still blows my mind. This is interesting. After 40 years of theatrical screenings and television airings, this movie made its premium movie network debut on HBO and Cinemax in 2015. Yeah, that is later, much later than you would think of. George is saying that he saw it in Waverly. That's awesome, at like one of the original theaters.
So cool.
That's so cool. I love.
That's really, really cool. Okay, so Katie, what's your favorite scene in the movie?
Oh my gosh, I don't know if I have one. Like, for me, the best part of this movie is honestly just Tim Curry. Like, everyone else is fabulous, but so like, and I will say, like, I definitely, and this is just me personally, I'm not, but like, I prefer the first 2/3 of this movie to the final like third, where it does get much more like sad, I guess, like, which I think is necessary.
It gets more Doctor Strangelove.
It gets more Doctor Strangelove and kind of like
sci-fi horror,
But it's not even like that part doesn't like. I just like in the first 2/3 of the movie, as I said, like I feel like Dr. Frank-N-Furter is very like cool and powerful and like everything and very in control of everything. And I feel like the last bit of the movie, he is like out of control and he's jealous and he's like and he's sad and like and Tim Curry does a fantastic job with that, but I think I don't like it as much. I really love the time warp. That's probably my like when that start I just can't, it's such an earworm, I can't get it out of my head. And I love the fact that which I didn't really realize until today. I was watching a whole bunch of like documentaries and footage from the movie, and what they were saying was that like they added the time warp to this as a song to the soundtrack because they felt like they were missing like the big number, the big song that everyone would remember and want. But it is the big song. It is the big song, but they had no budget for choreography. So like the song actually tells you what to do because they didn't have time or budget to train any of the actors. So like and I love that because it like I am
a jump to the left.
Horrible at choreography, but I can do this one. So I feel like that in itself is my favorite. How about you, Nat?
I love my favorite like part of the choreography is when you put your knees in and then your hips go around. I love that because it's just such an awkward. It's like you can be a terrible dancer and it doesn't matter because everybody can look equally awkward doing this because it's an awkward move to do. Like your like knees buckle, you know? It's anyways, I love that. I think my favorite part might actually be the end when everybody, so it's the final stage performance, which are like Brad and Janet are like, what's in Dr. Scott are like, what stage performance? Like to a zero audience. Like Frank-N-Furter is completely in his psychoses right now. Yeah. And in his mind, they're performing this stage show after he turns people into marble statues. Which when they turn them into marble statues, everybody goes naked except for Dr. Scott, who still has a blanket over his lap, which makes me laugh every time. But I like when he turns them back into people and they sing their sort of like explanation about like their sort of emotional journey. So like each of them explains like what's going on. Like we hear like Rocky, who's 5 hours old or 7 hours old or whatever it is. It's like poor Rocky. And so, you know, we get to like hear everybody's sort of little story. And I like that part.
Yeah. I think I do love Rocky. I feel so bad for that actor now. Like again, I was watching all these documentaries today and one of them was saying that like unsurprisingly, but I don't think I like fully appreciated it until I heard. But so he spends the entire movie wearing this like gold bikini basically, like, so he's wearing almost no clothing and it's skin tight. And I guess it was
it's like a wrestler, like a WW whatever.
Yeah. But I guess it was
Costume.
so like it was so
Tight.
tight on him that like anytime he moved, it was actually like ripping and was like felt like he was like they were like, don't let it fall off you because like we're filming and if you're naked, like we're screwed. Like it'll mean a bunch of it'll mean a whole bunch of editing. And obviously, you know, whatever level of embarrassment, it was freezing.
So that's why he moves so awkwardly.
So he moves like so he like actually couldn't really act because he was spending the entire time like every time he moved it would rip and like crew would come running out and like safety pin it and like duct tape it and spray paint like it was just like
you could see that too.
They could have just gone like one size up and been fine.
Well, no, they needed the groin.
I know they needed the groin package.
You know, like yeah. But it worked really well because the character. So they take Eddie. So Frank-N-Furter makes Eddie. So this is kind of like a Frankenstein-esque moment. It's based on Frankenstein.
Yeah.
It is, that is the reference point. So he makes Eddie, who is played by Meatloaf, okay, the singer, and
the hunk of meat just played.
Yeah. So Frank-N-Furter at the time we find out was in a relationship with Columbia. He cheats on her with Eddie, and then she and Eddie cheat on Frank together, and he gets jealous and takes half of Eddie's brain to put into Rocky because he makes a new person and decides he's going to do the opposite of Meatloaf, who is just a very average looking human being, into this like gold Adonis that is Rocky. All muscles. And I had texted you earlier, like there's this line in the song where he's like talking about deltoids and triceps and biceps and groin. Like I'm like, because the large groin package has anything to do with your tricep, but it's just funny that Frank-N-Furter's brain was like all of these beautiful muscles. Anyways, so it worked out that Rocky having half a human brain and being so buff but also kind of walking like Bambi on ice, it made sense for the character. So it's kind of like that costume snafu worked out because he's really like a newborn but full grown size human being.
Yeah, absolutely.
It worked out really well.
We do need to talk a little bit about Meatloaf because he obviously was I mean Meatloaf, if you don't know, was a singer, but so obviously his song is fantastic in it. He's on a motorcycle like for the majority of his very brief kind of cameo that he's there for. But when he's on it, I guess like those scenes were so precarious. Like he did not drive the motorcycle well. There were like a ton of like weird, like it was like breaking down, falling over, like dangerous on every conceivable level. So they had to just scrap a lot of what they filmed and just like hobble together to make those scenes work. So it's such a brief moment in the movie, but it's so ridiculous on every conceivable level. And I really enjoy him in this because it's so unexpected. You're like, what? What is happening now? I think it's pretty great.
And I have to say that I love Riff Raff. I mean, he's also completely insane. He has this big humpback. He's actually the writer and creator of Rocky Horror, the stage performance, and then decided to make it into a movie.
Yeah.
And his voice is fantastic. He has such a good voice. And he plays this sort of like hunchback, creepy, butlerish guy. But then at the end, he decides he's taking over as leader of the transsexuals of Transvestite. And phenomenal, like to see the shift in his character and the change in his voice. And that was also a pretty good moment.
Yeah, it's it's awesome.
Him and his sister Magenta, who they seem to have a relationship, but also are siblings, which whatever, like, okay. They're aliens.
Oh my gosh. I do love that the and you will appreciate this too, Nat, but the makeup so they couldn't afford to have a actual makeup person or team on set for this movie. Like the budget was so shoestring for this movie, but they did get guidance from the makeup artist who worked with David Bowie. So they had that makeup artist come in.
That's why there's the Ziggy Stardust kind of look.
So this is very like glam rock. This is very Bowie, who obviously was also renowned for gender bending and being really like androgynous in a lot of his characters, but I do love that they were just like, this is the vibe we're going for, and now you're on your own. So they all got to learn makeup from David Bowie's makeup artist, but then didn't actually get that person to do the makeup for them. They had to do it all by themselves.
That's iconic.
Which I think is absolutely
everybody
iconic.
did a good job.
Yeah.
I mean, let's say Tim Curry's makeup was amazing. And iconic.
Amazing. Yeah, as Paul is saying from our earlier point that according to Meatloaf, preparations for the motorcycle scene led to several on-set accidents. Yeah, it was like a complete nightmare, like injuries.
Yeah. I mean, they were driving this motorcycle around.
What could happen? You know?
Literally abandoned derelict mansion. Of course there's going to be accidents.
It says the castle interiors were filmed at Oakley Court, a decaying Gothic mansion with no heat. So so they didn't build a set for this one. They literally just found the worst possible thing. And you think that they could even bring in like some kind of heaters. They were just like, no, we'll just be cold. Like
but there was no electricity, so how would they like the heaters would unless they just started bonfires in the middle of the house, you know.
Oh my gosh. Well, I want to play a little game. I know Matt was like, I can answer all the trivia. And I knew that people like Matt would be able to answer all the trivia. So I went a different route this time around. We're going to go through what Rocky Horror character would you be based on your zodiac sign. So if you're hanging out with us live, you can drop in your zodiac sign. We're going to go through all of them so you can identify what character you're going to be. And if you're listening to this and you're like, wait a second, I can't see, we will say what character, but we'll also post on our social channel our fun little 8-bit emoji graphics so that you can take a look and you can have your little character. You can feel free. We'll post them all. You can use them however you want to use them. And these are fun. And then Nat and I can identify what zodiac signs we are as well. So here we go. We're going to start with Aries. If you're Aries, March 21st to April 19th, you get to be Frank-N-Furter, which is really one of the best. You are apparently bold, dramatic, and unafraid to take center stage. You live for the spotlight, and you don't mind shocking people a little or a lot. Val is already scared. Val and Nat are both Gemini, so stay tuned. Stay tuned, Val. All right. And here, this one goes out to George, who's a Taurus. George, you are Eddie. You have to tell us if you're excited or horrified by these. Apparently, you are loyal to your friends and your music. You've got a wild streak, but underneath that leather jacket, you're all heart. You're all heart. I love it. All right, here. This is for Val and for Nat. Over to you, Nat. Gemini, you are Columbia, which we teased this to Nat earlier. We felt like this was pretty appropriate.
Because every time Katie and I have dressed up to go see Rocky Horror Picture Show, she went as Janet and I went as Columbia. Yeah. Teaser. Spoiler for who we think I am. So this worked out.
This worked out. So apparently, Nat, you and Val are both sparkly, sassy, and endlessly talkative. Nat was like, I don't know. I don't really like people. So Nat doesn't
I
really
don't know how
think
sparkly
this is
I am.
accurate.
Sassy, yes.
You're the life of the party with a flair for storytelling and a killer tap number. I agree with all of that.
I used to dance. Yeah. Not tap though.
Yeah.
Ballet.
Yeah. All right. I know I saw someone that said that they were a Cancer. All right. Matt's a Cancer. So we're swinging over to Cancer next. You're Brad Majors, the sensitive traditionalist. You start off cautious, but when the moment calls for it, you're not afraid to step out of your comfort zone. That could be you, Matt. What do you think? You'll have to you'll have to see. We'll have to see if that one's you. All right. I think Paul said he was a Leo. Yes, Paul is a Leo. So Paul, you're a Magenta, and all of our other Leo friends, mysterious, magnetic, and just a little chaotic. I don't know, Paul. I don't know if you're just a little chaotic. Maybe a little bit. Maybe a tiny bit. You've got main character energy even when you're lurking in the shadows. That I believe. You're definitely main character energy.
Yeah, agreed.
I love it. All right, over to me and all of my Virgo loving friends. We're obviously Janet. There was like We didn't even need to do this one. We're meticulous and obnoxious and rule following. Proper until temptation knocks. We're the planner who secretly loves when things go off script. This is me to a T. I am definitely the person that I like it when it gets a little bit chaotic because then I can fix it. I like being able to fix it. Val's like, talkative me? No way. Yeah, that one, Val, I feel like that describes you. That's you to a T. All right, a few more left here. For all of our Libra friends, you are riffraff. You balance servitude and rebellion. You see beauty in madness, and you know when it's time to take control. Over to our Scorpio friends. I don't see anyone yet in our chat who is a Scorpio. Andrew, are you a Scorpio? You said you were October. So you're either a Libra, if you're early October. Happy birthday, by the way. Or you're a Scorpio. And if you're a Scorpio, you are Dr. Frank's creation, Rocky. He's wearing a shirt in this, which I feel is a lie.
It's a lie.
It's a lie.
Like, he's essentially naked the whole time. His underwear could barely hold on.
Yeah. You're all allure and intensity, a little dangerous, a little innocent, and completely unforgettable. That's you, Andrew. Maybe not. Unless you're early October, then you can be like a mix of both of them. All right. Sagittarius, for all of our Sagittarius friends, you are the narrator. Philosophical and witty. You're the one,
criminologist.
Yeah, the criminologist. You're the one trying to make sense of the chaos while secretly loving every minute of it.
Which the criminologist, he's Blofeld in the James Bond movies, which just tickled me. I was like, you go from James Bond to Rocky Horror. I'm like, that's range. I love that.
And that one is for Josh. Kathy and I are, damn it, Janet. I love it. Well, are you damn it, Janet sad, or are you like, damn it, Janet, I'm the best? Yeah, I hope you feel like you're the best.
Damn it, Janet, I love you.
All right, if you are a Capricorn, December 22nd to January 19th, you are Dr. Scott, the determined investigator.
Great Scott.
You're serious on the surface, but you've got a secret wild side waiting for the right cue. I'm really loving these. I mean, I have to just like live in these moments the entire time. I don't even normally like Zodiac, but these ones crack me up. This is like kind of a duplicate. Is the criminologist the same as the narrator? If you're an Aquarius.
Yes.
All right. So I guess that you're a different side of the criminologist / narrator. I know I saw one of you was. There we go. Oh. We got an Aquarius. Analytical, eccentric, and full of strange facts. You bring structure to madness and impeccable narration skills. Right? So you're a little bit on that side, true. Which I love. All right. And then the last one, I didn't see. Josh says, that's me to a T. I love it. All right. Excited to be the criminologist. I love it. That's amazing. All right. Yes. I didn't see any Pisces here, but Pisces is our last one. That is magenta post-return. She's got a different outfit. Yes. Dreamy.
So instead of her maid outfit, this is her, I'm going back to my alien planet
she's ready
warrior
to go.
Outfit.
Yeah. This one looks like
my brother / lover is going to murder some people now outfit.
This one says you're dreamy, intuitive, and ready to escape another planet when things get weird. You feel everything and make it art. So that is Pisces.
Wonderful.
Yeah. These just made my day. So hopefully they make all of your days. And I feel everyone who's hanging out with us here live feels like it was pretty accurate. I didn't see anyone feeling really upset. So I think we did it. We instead of doing trivia, which Matt would have won, maybe Nat. Yes. Matt and Nat would have won that. That one. I thought we would go this route. So thanks for humoring me. Fun. And we will definitely we'll post all of those up on our Instagram account, the VHS Club Pod, if you want to grab yours or just see all of them. We'll post all the little descriptions. You know, ChatGPT can be really fun sometimes. It really makes all of this stuff much more fun. All right, I'm scrolling through to see if we missed any important. All right, well, we have some discussion questions, and I think we answered a few of them already. But if you have not answered and you're hanging out with our live studio audience, definitely answer these. So Nat and I already talked about when we first saw Rocky Horror, and I know a bunch of you chimed in there. But if you haven't answered that one yet and you have seen it, definitely drop that in. All right, this is a good question for you, Nat. Does this movie work as a movie, or is it really only awesome because of the fandom around it? Does
No, it
it
works
stand?
as a movie.
Does it stand alone, or is it fit? You
Yeah,
think it stands alone? Okay, all
it
right.
does.
I'll agree
Yeah.
with you on that
I
one.
mean, I saw it again. I was super young, and I didn't like my dad had told me about the live shows and stuff, but like I didn't experience that for like a significant period, like 10 years later, like um so yeah, I mean I enjoyed it as a movie well before I saw it as a live
Mm,
experience. And also you can't enjoy the live experience until you've seen the movie.
that's true.
Like you have to know it, and you have to know it by heart before you do the live experience, really. I mean, you don't have to, but then you're going to get a red lipstick V on your forehead and get dragged up on stage. Um, but and if you're like me, that I would know. Do not drag me up
No
on
to
stage.
attention. No to that level of attention.
No.
I know. Now that I'm thinking about it, I do feel a little bit ripped off because I had seen that movie a lot of times before we went to
Yeah.
the Salem experience, but then technically I was still considered a virgin and I had the V on my head, and I refused to be allowed to be
Yes.
dragged on stage, but technically not a virgin if I've seen it, but I guess I didn't experience it in the experience
Yeah.
until then. So
Yeah.
I think so I know you have someone agreeing with you. Hot take. It stands
It
alone.
does.
But I think it
Like
does
I don't think on
stand
the
alone
stage
as a movie.
I don't think on the stage they could show as much chaoticness as they did in film.
I agree with that. I think I'm somewhere in between these two things. So I think it stands alone as a movie, but I think I'm with Matt on the fandom makes it great. Without the
Yes, of
fandom
course.
and the like experience, I think it really would have just disappeared. And I like maybe it would
I
have
mean,
like
that's what makes it iconic. So it takes it from a really interesting, fun movie, think piece movie
yeah.
to an iconic experience by melding the two. But I think, yeah, I definitely think it can stand on its own.
Yeah.
But it need like I love the fans like that, like going to see it and going to the Rialto to see it is just so much fun, and having that experience and seeing like new actors like year after year come out and perform this, and how the audience still knows it, and just the range of ages of people going to see it is incredible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is a cultural phenomenon. Like it is absolutely
Like it
incredible.
surpasses generations.
It does. Yeah.
Like,
And I don't think the cool thing about it is that like, I know we typically ask ourselves the question like, does this movie stand up? Like, and we talk a lot about, especially in this day and age, like remakes and
stands
sequels
out.
and sequels and prequels and all these different things. I think what's kind of cool about this one is because it has like become this experience and it's still in theaters, like it just is always in theaters. It almost can't have a prequel or a sequel or be remade, and I think that's like really important.
I also think
I just think it's kind of
it
awesome that it can't ever.
Yeah.
It just is. It can't be anything but what it is.
I think it also like portrays sexuality versus the social construct of gender better than anything else I've seen it in.
Yeah.
Like it makes it
Yeah.
like it portrays it in a way that like you don't have to believe it or know anything about it to understand it. You know?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah. I'd agree
like
with
it
that.
just I mean, it literally just throughout the whole film portrays from very different character types, like how you can just be yourself, and how to figure out how to be yourself.
Yeah.
Um, and
Yeah.
I like it does it phenomenally. I think one of the only other things I've seen that's done something with that as well is Schitt's Creek, but
Yeah. That
I
is
mean
true.
that's totally different.
Yeah.
Like,
It did
it's like the
make
wine
me
conversation.
It did make me think a little bit when we did the Clue episode. One of the
Yeah.
like the Clue documentary, which if you all haven't seen that yet, is a really fun watch just because it's such a love letter to the movie from its like diehard fans. So it's just really awesome to watch. But one of the lines in that was which I mentioned in the episode, but they did an interview with the screenwriter for Clue, who was a playwright and so was used to this idea of writing for the stage. And he had said that like what was such a gut-wrenching feeling and then such a weird flip was the fact that as a stage, like as a writer for the stage, he was so used to if something fails, it fails and it's done. And this idea of like it doesn't get a second life. And so what was neat for him was this idea that like a movie like this could become such a cult classic and a favorite and be beloved by everyone and watched like well after it's already failed. And what I love about this one is like this one continues even past that, where like again it goes from being like a stage production to a movie, to a failed movie, and then like becomes in itself a movie stage production. And I just think that like that is,
it's like the cult classic to define cult classic.
it is a cult classic defying cult classic. And what a cool experience it would have been for the writer of it to have been like when it was first a stage production, like the original, like I don't mean it was like on Broadway or even like it was in like a room where I think there was only seats for 60 people. Like it was a very, very
like
small.
It wasn't the London Theater. It wasn't like the London whatever
theater.
The off
London Theater. Yeah. And now this is wild. So thank you so much for all of you for sharing your stories as well. But I want to pull something out of this. So Josh saw this movie for the first time on September 23rd, 2025 on Disney Plus. Okay. And then Matt followed up and said that he was on a Disney cruise and the characters did the time warp and he flipped out. Mickey left the stage and it was wild. So Disney owns this property right now. Like it
yeah, Frank-N-Furter
is a Disney princess.
Dr. Frank-N-Furter is a Disney princess. Yeah, of course.
I just think is like
of course he's a Disney princess.
Incredible.
That makes absolute sense to me.
Yeah. It's it really was. This movie really was lightning in a bottle, and I just think it's so. I don't know. It's so fun and so special, and hopefully it's part of your if it is a movie that you love. I hope that it's part of your regular, Halloween viewing. Hopefully, Josh, now it's one that you watch over and over again. We will definitely do this one as a watch party. It is not our November watch party. You all voted and wanted to do Hocus Pocus, so we're doing Hocus Pocus in November. But maybe we can pull that one in either next year or in a couple of months, because I do think it is. There are some movies, particularly cult classics, that just like demand to be watched in a group and have people, share their stories and love all of it. And I just think that's what the show is about. So I love that we finally got to cross this one off the list. Not saying we won't pull it back out again here and there, whether it's watch parties or we're not opposed to talking in more detail. We could probably talk another 3 hours about this one. Any final thoughts, Nat? Obviously, other than the don't dream it, be it, which should always be our final thought. But anything else?
Love Frank's heels. Wouldn't mind a pair.
Love Frank's heels. One of my questions was, who's your favorite character and why is it Frank? Really, but I didn't feel like I needed to ask that because I don't care if it's not Frank. So
because he's like pretty and masculine and is an amazing singer, and the way he moves is just magic, and that he's magic. That's it. Tim Curry's magic. And if you haven't seen Tim Curry and his band, I think they're called Fearless.
Yeah.
In the 70s and 80s, like go find like clips of that on YouTube or wherever. Amazing. It's an experience to watch. Like, very magical creature.
Absolutely magical. Another vote for a watch party for it. Don't Dream It Be It is an incredible song. Like the music in this movie is awesome. Yeah. If you're looking for a soundtrack to buy, you will not be disappointed with this one. Again, even if you never watched the movie, the soundtrack is phenomenal. And the time warp will teach you the song and how to dance it, even if you are inept. Yeah.
I'd like to point out to people who are watching, my Mickey Mouse Club ears are super wonky because I got them when I was a baby. It actually even has my name embroidered on the back. And Katie's are new, and it's funny because my ears are totally different shape than yours. Like our Mickeys are different.
Mine are Mine I got for
Like
my
super
kids. Mine
round?
doesn't
Mine
fit
are
my
not.
head because it's like a child one.
Oh, mine doesn't fit my head either.
I got mine for these are Scarlett's from Disneyland a couple of years back when I went to Disneyland. But
I think this one of my mom's friends got for me when she went to Disney World. I've never been to Disney, any of them. But also, as much as I watch every TikTok about Disney World and Universal and all those because it looks amazing, I abhor crowds. I wouldn't be able to physically handle it.
but
I like to watch. Yes, I do. Katie recently went on a trip to Disney and I was like, send me all the pictures. And I'm like, this is as good as being there for me, literally. Because I'm like, I can't with all the crowds and the.
Oh. All right, I will allow people to like other characters. You can also like Columbia.
I love Columbia. I dress up like Columbia every time I do. Either in like my PJs and Mickey ears, like so in one of the scenes where they're watching all the shenanigans happen on the TV.
Yeah.
Magenta and Columbia are having a slumber party, so I usually do that. But then one time for a Halloween karaoke party, I dressed up like full magenta with the corset and the cabaret shorts and all of that. So
that's a good one. Yeah. That's a good one. Kathy's saying for
years.
I
don't have my rainbow corset anymore.
You and Kathy could both wear your ears. Kathy also has ears with her name sewn in the back. Old school.
Yeah, it is very old school. I'm nervous. I was nervous clipping this into my hair because I'm like, it's so old. The material might just disintegrate. It is in parts.
Mine is the newer one that has the little like elastic I can wear around my neck.
Oh, mine has an elastic. It just blew out. It literally is disintegrating. It's beige
gone.
now. Used to be white.
Oh my gosh. So I love it. Dane is asking if we still have the furniture TV. I do not. My parents still have their like giant furniture TV in the basement. Nat doesn't have hers anymore. They're really hard to get rid of because you have to carefully dispose of them.
Yeah, because they're the tube TVs. I mean, I was like just regular TV. We haven't had tube TVs in a long time, Nat. But I think the tube blew and like it was past the time of being able to replace that.
Yeah, it's past. I'm laughing. I love the costume is pajama Columbia with gay pride Mickey ears. Absolutely. This is like the most comfortable and wonderful costume idea because it's just like easy, comfy, fabulous. The fact that you have the pride Mickey ears makes it 100 times better. It's just absolutely great.
Exactly.
And a happy Halloween to absolutely everyone. Hi to Gary who loves our hats. Thank you so much to all of you for hanging out with us. And once again, like this is the end of our spooky movie month. I love that you all hung out with us, even though the mass majority of you don't even like spooky movies. I hope that this was a fun palate cleanser at the end as we head into a wee break before we hit the holiday season. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. We've gotten to be a little bit scared, and I love that you've come along on the journey with us, even though it's not been everyone's favorite journey. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you to everybody for listening to us talk about horror and slasher and gory movies, even though
listening
you
like this
seem
with
to
their
hate
hands,
them.
yeah, like with their ears covered and
I'm
hands
like,
between.
Well, like at least we didn't cover any of the Rob Zombie movies, which are so good, but those are psychologically disturbing and visually disturbing. So we maybe won't do those.
Well, happy Halloween, everyone, and I hope that you all have a safe and fun and as spooky as you want day. We certainly are gonna have a lot of fun over here, and we'll have Rocky
Hope you
Horror
get some good and safe candy.
Good safe candy for everyone. Hopefully it's not snowy and too cold. But on that note, we do have a fun, exciting schedule coming up in November. We have a couple special guests coming on. We have some fun movies we're doing, so we'll get that schedule up and going. And it's a good time to remind everyone that you can join.
Katie and Nat, rocking the scene with
That was the wrong button. That was the wrong button. Oh, hang on, our song's still playing. Wait.
Are we still are we still live? Did we just foobar that?
We're still live, but everyone's like, what time is it? What is happening? I was trying to say, and obviously when I cut over there, it's got a sound effect on it. So we'll try that again. But we are trying very hard to make sure that everyone is on our email list so that you get reminders and then you can email us back and give us your show, the ideas that you have for upcoming movies, and you can be guests and all of that. So make sure that you sign up for our email. If you wait till the very end of the episode, we'll put our QR code up with our music, apparently. If you don't want to wait that long because you're like, what the heck, Katie? You can just go over to the vhsclubpod.com/email, and then you can sign up for it there. And we are going to do a whole bunch of continue to do fun giveaways.
How many potatoes was this?
Oh my gosh, we didn't even rate this one.
All the potatoes.
All the potatoes. All the potatoes. Wait, I have that one. Nope.
Wait.
Nope.
That's Amadeus.
Nope. Nope.
I love it.
This
The
one.
end of this episode has gone so off the rails.
Our music is taken over. Kathy, did you hit something? I feel like Kathy hit something. It was definitely Kathy's fault in this one. It must be a Halloween. Hang on, we only have 4 and we need to do 5. Everything is broken this episode. I don't even know.
The veil is thin.
There's
The
some
spirits
ghosts.
are taking over.
Is it because I said we? Yeah, here we go.
No.
Here we go. We're gonna. You know what?
Loads
we're
of
gonna
potatoes.
do. We're
All
gonna
the
do a
Christian
few more,
taters.
and then that'll break it for next week. We're gonna fill it
What
with
a little
potatoes.
cutie patootie he is.
Yeah, we're giving it
Christian
all of
tater.
the potatoes. I'm glad that Val thinks this is fun. I'm like, there are goblins. there's something happening here. I don't know what's happening. Kathy, you need to stop playing. There's like some craziness happening here. Oh my gosh. Yeah, potatoes.
I love
This
it.
is potatoes. You know what part of it is that I've been using the VHS Club as an example when I do public speaking, which is super professional of me. And so I break all of the
source
scenes.
material.
I have good source. It's the time warp again. Let's do the time warp again. Yeah. So yeah, I've probably just broken everything, but it's all right. I'll fix it for next time. Because
Put your hands on your hips.
because the important thing to remember is Virgo, so I love when I secretly love when things go off script. I secretly love when things go off script.
Apparently.
Yeah, apparently. Goblins.
I was supposed to be a Virgo.
Yeah.
I came early.
You have a little bit.
Super early.
You have a little bit Virgo. You're
I
a
do.
little bit Virgo vibes. You're like, you can be
I do have
between
a bit.
Gemini and Virgo.
Yeah.
Well,
Just like you can too. Were you late?
I don't know whether I was late or early. I just am. Paul.
I bet you $10 you ask mom, like, Mom, was I late? And she'd be like, I don't know.
Yeah, she won't know.
She'll have no idea when she gave birth to her own child.
She won't know. Paul was ready. Paul
all
gave
the
it
red lips.
all the red lips and the red lipstick. Val gives it 3 laugh faces, I assume. Or she's just laughing at us. It's a little bit of both.
Oh, wait. Is the narrator the lips and the criminologist Blofeld?
Oh, valid point.
Are those are 2 different characters. The narrator is the lips.
I mean, if like
I thought they were the same character, and I was like, oh no, wait, no, the narrator is the lips and the criminologist is Blofeld. Whatever
That-
his name is, that
might
wonderful gentleman.
that might be true.
Yeah, I feel like just realized that right now live.
Mhm.
The little gray cells have finally come together.
They've come together. Well, Val says she was just laughing at us. That's not the rating. She was just laughing at
Love
us.
it.
You're welcome. We all needed a laugh. Kathy was saying that she was having a really a long week, so I felt like we needed to do this for Kathy. It was all planned. It was all part of the plan. Well,
welcome.
all right, let's do our checklist, right? Okay, so we did our intro. We talked about the movie. We did our fun facts
Our
all the way
blurb.
through. We did our game where we showed everyone their characters. We
did kind of our outro.
we
a few
tried
times.
to do our outro a couple of times and failed, and then we went back into the potato review, and now we're gonna go to our outro again. So we did it, you guys. We did it. We
Happy Halloween,
did it. Happy
everyone.
Halloween, everyone. And we will see you next time on the VHS Club. Bye, everyone.
Katie and Nat, walking the scene